Good morning, guys. How are we doing? It is the 30th of December 2020 and it is it's Wednesday. Yay. We got this far. It's a good thing. Yeah, so Tanny and I took the day off yesterday because Tanny wasn't feeling very well. He's had a really bad neck. He's not been feeling great. So we had the day off, which was cool. And we just snuggled up on the couch with the big blanket and just watched movies. That's all we did all day long, was watch movies. It was great. Yeah, so I've got some catch up to do today. Yes, so that I can get the rest of the turkey used before it goes off. We've still got 2 bags of it that I've just gone, look, we're not going to use it before it goes off. I'm going to bag them up and put them in the freezer. So we've got 2 bags in there that's enough to make 2 meals that will last us 3 days. Yeah. Okay, because you got to remember that I make things big enough for a family to have 2 meals from, because it's, unless I'm making just 1 portion for 1 person, I don't know how to cook for small people, small amounts of people. Even when I make fried rice, it lasts us for days. The only time that I seem to be able to make food for 1 person is that when I make my noodles in the morning. And I got asked the other day actually about that. I was asked, why do you have noodles in the morning? You're not Asian. And I was like, no, I'm not, but I'm learning from them. I'm learning that there's a lot of things that you can put into noodles or rice in the mornings that are really, really good for you, that you can get away with. And oh my God, it's so much better than cereal or crap like that. So quite frankly, I'm quite happy having noodles nearly every single day for breakfast. Plus it's cheap. You can buy a packet of 5 or 6 of them for £1, depending on which ones you get. Yeah, so I tend to put a lot of anti-inflammatory herbs and spices in mine, or blends. So that would include things like ginger and garlic and lemongrass and all sorts of chili and all kinds of things that are really, really good, really, really healthy. It's the one time a day where I get to not worry about whether I'm going to put meat, because 9 times out of 10 I won't. It's very rare that I'll do something like chuck in some bacon or something like that, or into my noodles. I tend to, for the most part, it's veg. And the main veg that I put in there are things like cucumber, and when they're in season, courgettes, or zucchinis, depending on what part of the world you're in. I had great fun over the summer because we were growing heaps of them. We had heaps. There was millions of them. It was great. And I was picking 1 or 2 a day. And we only had 3 plants. I've actually said to Tanny this year, I want 6 plants. I want 6. Because we just literally, we grew so many and it was great. But I didn't quite have enough to do pickling and keeping them for later on. So I want to do that for this year, which would be amazing. The other thing I tend to put in there is radishes. I tend to buy those because we haven't been able to successfully grow them yet. No, we haven't. Except when they have gone to seed, we've been able to make use of the seed pods while they're still green, and we can use those. So I have used those in my noodles before and in other dishes, and I have some preserved as well, because you can actually eat the seed pods from the radishes, and you get about 100 per plant. They're amazing, and they taste like spicy peanuts. That's the easiest way I can describe it. They taste like spicy peanuts. Even Tanny had a go, And he actually enjoyed it, even though he said he probably wouldn't do it again because he's not a big fan of spicy things. Yeah. So, yeah. But that's fine. That's all good. And so, yes, as much as last year, well, this year, earlier this year, what I did was I actually did a Twitch live on preparing them. I wasn't able to save that, unfortunately. I didn't save it in time because I went a bit wonky with the whole streaming thing, so I didn't manage to save it, unfortunately. So the other thing that I want to talk to you about is that food is definitely medicine, and as much as we do a lot of I do a lot of dishes that mean that we are fed with a main meal for several days. I do that on purpose. I mean, one of them is budget restraints. We have severe budget restraints, and so, you know, we have to eat within our means, and I know that there's a lot of other people out there who have to do the same thing, and so that's why we do what we do. However, in saying that, there's also ways and means of making your food more to do with the medicine that you need to look after you. I have fibromyalgia, I have arthritis, I have a back injury. I'm heading towards 50 and my body's starting to break down. Let's just put it all that way, okay? Because that's going to be the easiest way to explain it. So you want to find things. I can't take a lot of medicines that are over-the-counter medicines or prescribed medicines. My body just doesn't like them, whether it's the carrier that they come in or not, I don't know. But a lot of the pain relief meds that they tend to give people like me, I can't take. I have ranging from minor to severe reactions, and it's just not worth it. So when I do go down, I need to try and manage things on a more natural level, and which is why I became a herbalist. So what I do is when I do the noodles in the morning is I tend to put, like I said, put things like ginger and garlic and chili and stuff like that in there, coriander, cumin, all these really, really good anti-inflammatory herbs and spices and foods, because radishes and cucumbers, they are full of water. Cucumbers are one of the lowest sugar fruits that you can get, and they do really well being stir fried off and put in to a noodle soup. They do amazing. Radishes are the same. They also are full of water, very low in sugar. You know, they're great, okay? So then you've got things like bell peppers that I put in there, which have capsaicins, even if, you know, it's not a lot, but it's something. Mostly though, I tend to put chili in there, but we don't have any fresh chili at the moment. I do have preserved chili. I've got dried chili flakes that I made myself. When we get bulk amounts of things that we can find on cheap, that have been marked down, we tend to buy a lot of them, and then I bring them home and we preserve them down, which is really, really kind of cool, and that's just the way we do things. Right, so one thing I did want, I've rambled on a little bit too much about that, but you know, that's literally what I do. My breakfast is my medicine for the day, and depending on how I'm feeling and how my body is feeling, depends on just how much of the stuff I put in. Okay, so what I really wanted to talk to you about was a tea. I'm thinking I might actually have to do this on a different level. Now, I know that people are starting to freak out because of the levels of COVID and stuff in the country, and I know that people are starting to freak out because people are having reactions to the vaccine. People who are having reactions to the vaccine already have reactions to medicines, and they tend to walk around with an EpiPen. Anyway, they've also been told not to take the vaccine. So if they have taken the vaccine, the Pfizer one we're talking about, then that would be on their heads, to be honest. Because frankly, if you're told that, you know, it is suggested that people with allergies do not take this vaccine, then that is on you, especially if you choose to take it at that point. So, yeah. However, there are some things that we can do to keep ourselves healthy in the meantimes. Or if we get a little bit of a head cold, or we think we might be getting something not happening, and we've got lots of mucus forming and we're not feeling great and all of that kind of stuff, you need to get yourself some thyme oil. Now, thyme oil is in stuff that you probably got in the pantry, if not in the herb garden. Thyme oil is very easily to get as well, just as it is. And frankly, you could find the best source of it down in the herb section of the supermarket. Not even kidding. And it's so easy to grow. It really is. Thyme oil is the oil that is found in thyme. Just ordinary garden thyme, English thyme. English thyme, it has up to 600,500 ppm of the levels of the thyme oil. So it is one of the highest level. Now you can have, if you make yourself a tea with this and sip it, if you're not feeling well, it will help to break down the mucus. It will help to relieve any sore throatiness. It will help, and that's what you need, is things that are going to help. Now there are other ways that you can get hold of this. If you can't get thyme, use oregano. If you don't have oregano, use marjoram. These are three of the biggest they have the biggest levels of the thyme oil in them. Sorry, my words, man. It's early, okay? It's 7:15. The other one that you can use as well is lemon. Now, when I tend to get sick or not feel great, I will have a thyme and oregano and lemon tea with raw honey. Now, I know raw honey is expensive. I know it's expensive, okay? Down below in the comments, I'm going to put 2 places where you can get hold of it that are fairly reasonably priced. If you can't find a beekeeper in your area, meet your beekeeper. It's going to be the cheapest way that you get hold of your honey. I can absolutely guarantee you making friends with your local beekeeper. But also, if you are going to invest in a jar or a pot of raw honey, keep it for medicine. If you want to have honey in other things, that's fine. Buy the cheaper stuff. Buy the blended stuff. Blended honey is the one that has all sorts of different honeys from all over the place. It's still pasteurized. You know, it's been pasteurized. It's had half of the really good stuff taken out of it. So, you know, it is what it is, but you still get the flavor of honey, and it still is honey in a way. So, but raw honey has a lot more nutritional value to it, and it only comes from one place. Okay, it won't be blended with 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different honeys. Okay, the really, really cheap honey that you find on the supermarket shelves, if you have a look on the label, will say it's added glucose or corn syrup. That means they've added sugar to it, so it's not honey anymore. Okay, so just letting you know that that's important. But like I said, if you want your honey and you want really good honey, you need to get the raw stuff. Raw honey is amazing as well for people who've got hay fever allergies. If you can find a beekeeper in your area, it has been found that people who ingest a spoonful of honey every morning from their local area actually have less hay fever and less reactions to the local flora pollens in the area. So that's pretty amazing. It's also suggested for people with asthma, because some of that can be kicked off by local pollens, etc. So, you know, it is really, really good stuff. And the closer you can get your honey to where you live, the better off you are. Okay? So, yeah, I would suggest doing that. But like I said, I will put below the 2 places that I have got honey from. And one of them in particular I use a lot. Okay, I go to Pappy's Honey. This is not in any way sponsored, this video, just telling you it's not. Okay, I've just found that it's the tastiest of the 2 honeys, and it is definitely does what it says on the jar. It's amazing. And yes, it does come from Hungary, but you know what, it does the job for me. I don't have to worry about things like hay fever because I don't have them. So anyway, I'm gonna go now, and I want you guys to make yourself some tea. At some point I will make a video showing you how to make the tea, so that, you know, you can make your own brew up. It's something that you can make a giant pot of, and then you can just warm up a little bit as you want, you know, or as you need, or whatever. And the longer it steeps for, the better it is, because you're going to have more and more of that really valuable oil come through. So yeah, I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys later on. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, because, you know, we like to get a good pat on the back every now and again. That'd be nice. And if you're new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button, because, you know, the more the merrier, and we love you. Okay, so I will see you later, guys. Look after yourselves and each other. And if you're having a shit day, please don't take it out on anybody else, because they don't deserve it. Okay, love ya. Bye.